Well, I'm so excited to have Stacey on again. You've been on my channel before. You've
Mhm.
been all over my everything. You've been all up in my business.
Yes, I have.
You were just in my wedding, like not in my wedding party, but like at my wedding. You were
Yes,
at my cottage, in my house. Like we're so connected, aren't we?
we are connected. That's why we're getting together because we can't get enough of each other.
I know, exactly. Honestly, if I was into women, I'd marry you, but
Yeah.
I just married Jerry, so we're good.
Yeah, and I'm newly engaged, so
Yes,
well.
on her trip to visiting me.
Yes,
Um,
yes.
I'm so excited because I you reached out because you wanted to collaborate as we do so well.
Mhm.
It's been a hot minute because I had my baby and whatever. It's been right. It's been
Yeah.
fun and marriage and all the things, but I'm so excited because I have like kind of neglected my YouTube channel. And I honestly, when you reached out to me, I don't even know if I shared this with you, but I was like, I really want to reignite my YouTube channel. And you're like, hey, want to do a video for your YouTube channel? I'm like, yeah. And this
Yes.
is this like you read my mind, literally.
That's amazing. Yeah.
Yeah,
You have a beautiful YouTube channel and you do so well with navigating like social media and everything. And I love spending time with you and learning from you and vice versa. And so I thought this would be really fun because you're up to a lot of big things. I'm also up to a lot of big things. We can chat like we do, but now we can offer it to individuals that are interested if they want to have support and up leveling in different parts of their life.
totally. And so for those of you who have not met Stacey, the reason I even know Stacey is because of Jerry. And the reason Jerry knows Stacey is because he was an idiot for a short time in our relationship. And this is the beauty
Yep.
of what can happen when you're being an idiot.
Barbara,
Um, so
by
the
the way,
back,
Barbara and I always say this about our partners. We joke around about how, they're an idiot or not. So
yeah,
you'll hear
but
this.
in
You'll hear this.
yeah, but in jest, we don't like to man bash
No, we love them very
officially.
much. Yeah.
Um, but yeah, so I was a dating and relationship coach. I don't do that anymore, but my relationship with Jerry was faltering. There were some big problems in it, and I ended up moving to Costa Rica. And Jerry took a leadership program, the same one that I had taken before he took it, and met Stacey.
Hmm.
And the very short story of that is obviously I'm married to Jerry, so we got back together.
Yeah.
But he, through that leadership training and remembering who he really is, that's really what it is, right? Remembering your true self,
Yes.
not having to change, but changing out of your like fake self that's trying to whatever look good or something. Um, he learned how to enroll me back and how to be the kind of man that he knew me, a queen,
Hmm.
wanted in him, and we both were wanted to navigate back to each other, but we didn't know how. And so he asked Stacey if she would help us do that. And boy, has she ever! Because I honestly, Jerry and I often say, if it wasn't for the help Stacey gave us, like the guidance, obviously we did the work and you
Totally
have to do
did.
your own work,
Hmm.
but most people can't navigate life on their own. We need community, we need support. And had it not been for the guidance from you, Stacey, we would not be together, married, have a baby. Like, how insane,
It's so
right?
good.
So
And I got to witness it all in person recently, so that's even better. Yeah.
yeah, so that's the connection, and that's why I feel like I owe my life to Stacey as a friend and also as a mentor. And we mentor each other. We were just on
Mhm.
the phone before we press play, like helping each other. And
Totally.
um, but so what I want to do here is share with the world and my audience here on YouTube. I mean, my audience here is women who want to find love, women who want to have the abundance and the life that they dream of. And what better way than to step by step really take away all the shit that's in the way of you having everything you want. So
Absolutely. But that was like so beautifully said because you have two women in front of you who we want the same thing. Now we have our partners, we have our businesses, we have our babies, we have like we're just continuing to develop and grow everything that's on our vision board essentially. But really it comes back to we want that relationship with ourselves and then with our children and with our friends and everything. And so it's such a great avenue to be able to give from our own viewpoint what has worked for us, what hasn't worked for us. And then we have a lot of tools. We have a lot of tools that we've sought out and that were also given to us. And we're big on sharing. We're big on sharing it.
so let's discuss those tools because you're really good at the sort of really the detailed parts of this. So what are the tools? Like when someone comes to you for help, what
Mhm.
are the tools you give them?
Yeah,
Or
that's a
you can
great,
even talk about me and Jerry. Like
yeah.
what did we come to you
Myself
with? And
even, right? Like
right,
there's just
right.
so much we could say. But first, I want to backtrack for 2 seconds and say thank you for all of the kind things that you said. I feel the exact same way about you all because Jerry and you have seen things in me that I didn't even see, and then through our relationship, it blossomed, and so I feel like the exact same way. So everybody knows it's reciprocal for sure. And that when somebody comes to me, in a situation in leadership they call it a breakdown, right? But it's like mistakes we've made or choices of who we've been being that have created our experience and all of that. When somebody comes to me, the first thing that I want to talk about is what do they actually want, because I spent the majority of my life, I never asked myself that. I always told
Right.
myself what I didn't want. I talked all day, every day about, I don't want this kind of guy. I don't want this kind of
Yeah.
job. And I never stopped for a minute to be like, yeah, but what's possible? What do I actually want? So I don't care about the past. Like we get to address the past at some point and
Yes.
it and it comes up, it'll come up. You and I talked about it, it comes up, but really it's about like, hey, have you thought about what you want? And sometimes I know for me, having a baby, I never allowed myself the permission to say I wanted more children. I just kind of went with the mainstream that said, you're getting too old, your kids would be too far apart, blah, blah, blah. And then I just said, okay. And then when I stopped
Right.
for a minute and I went through some different trainings, I was like, hey, what do you want? I would love more kids. I want another one. And then it spiraled. So, going back to your original question, when somebody comes to me, it's like, yeah, let's talk for a minute. I usually hand over the magic wand. So now you have the magic
Yes, the
wand.
magic wand.
Oh
It's
God.
so
When I
good.
was a little girl, I would love having my magic wand. It's like let's go back, like you said, to your original self. The person that wasn't tainted by all the rules, who had the magic wand as a kid. Like you could do anything. So now I give
Right.
you the magic wand and I'm like, the hardest part is for someone not to talk about what they don't want again, even though they're holding the magic wand. I'm like, no, 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 no. You
Totally.
have a magic
Totally.
wand. So now they have the magic wand, and I'll use myself as an example. You and I were just talking about, I'm 43. I want to age gracefully. And I was complaining at first a little bit, and then, going into my story, and then we looked at the vision. It's like, I have the magic wand. Okay, if I could have anything, I want to have gray hair and it come in beautifully. I want to own it. I want to have my skin look beautiful but aged, and I want to like honor my experience and where I'm at, and I want to be connected to my body, and I want to know my cycle, and I want to go through perimenopause and menopause effortlessly, and inspire other women to not want to, go down the rabbit hole, the standard, protocol and all the things. And so when I shared that with you, that was my magic wand. And so now it's like, okay, who do I get to be to get that? And one of the biggest things which people can resonate with is I get to be the kind of person that asks for help. Right? Like I got to start
Yes.
by asking for some help and then I got to be willing to let go of some old stories and stuff. So that's the first thing I do is talk about what you want and get that magic wand out. You might not wave it in the first wave and get it, but as long as you hold on to it and you're open to actually speaking into what your heart's desire is, then anything's possible. But you got to start there.
Yeah. And it's funny, what's coming up for me right now is this morning I reached out to my business mentor, for support because I feel like I'm spinning my wheels a little bit, and I had such great momentum before my wedding, and I'm spinning my wheels a little bit, and she supported me too. So yes, we have great tools. Yes, we've done all this work on ourselves, and even you, like you reached out to me this morning for support, and like it, everyone needs support
Hmm.
in their next level, in their next step, in maybe not even their next, like maybe in this moment, right? And so just surround yourself with people that you resonate with and that will actually stand for you,
Hmm.
that are not going to stand for your bullshit stories.
Yep.
And that's the best thing that I think I've done over the last, several years.
Totally. And that have something that you want. Like, like
Yes.
on my side, like you have several things that I want, from your connection with your body to your femininity. I mean, I could go on and on. So it's like, when I'm struggling in that department, I'm going to look up. Like some
Yes.
people go
Yes.
down, don't go down, go up,
Don't
be
go down.
willing to be like, hey, you have something that I want. Can
Yeah.
you support me? So that's
Totally. That is such a good point. You see, you always go to the detail and explain it so well. So I reached out to her because she in our business, she's at the level where I want to be.
Mhm.
So who do I get to be at that level? And who should I ask? Somebody who is there or has been there,
Right.
right?
Yep.
So same with anything, same with being married, same with having a baby, same with weight loss or fitness, same with aging gracefully.
Hmm.
Um, all those things. Yeah, you go to someone who's already there.
Yeah, I used to go to my like friends who were single and
Yeah,
heavy in their masculine and
yeah,
not were not in the job that they wanted, and I'm like, oh, how am I, asking them?
yeah,
I never got great advice, right?
right.
But it was because I was too afraid to up level and put myself out there at the time.
For
And
sure.
and then I didn't get the memo that you should look up to, So now that I got the
Yeah,
memo, it's a lot easier, and that's good. I don't know who originally said this, but it's like you are the five people you hang around with most. And
I
damned if it's
know.
not true. I think my mom used to tell me that, and I hated that because my top five people were a little wild, like to go
Yeah,
out, and so did I. And so yeah, you gotta find those like-minded people. And if you don't have it, that's okay. I ask myself, where do they hang out? Same with dating, right? Like, your perfect guy, what does he like to do when he comes home from work? Where's he at? And
yeah,
if you go there, you'll meet him, right? Same as with friendships and mentors. If you go there, if you go to a big leadership conference, if you join something like Jerry, you and I and my partner Anthony all did, you'll find it. It'll be there
yeah,
for sure.
totally. Yeah. If you want a fit guy, don't go to a bar. I mean, but
No.
fit guys
If
may
you
go
want a
to a bar,
mentally
but
healthy guy, don't go to a
don't
bar.
go to a
Oh
bar.
my
If
God.
you want a fit guy, don't go waiting at Dunkin' Donuts for someone.
No,
Like, I mean, it's so obvious, but it has to be said because
it
it's
has to be
really like,
said.
those of you who are listening right now, like, think about the actions you've taken where you've done that, right? Where you're looking for a healthy guy, but you're sitting at Dunkin' Donuts, like metaphorically. I'm not saying
Mhm.
exactly, right? So think about that. So Stacey, I want to know everything about what you're doing right now because you're doing some big, cool stuff.
I really am. I really am. So Going back to that original leadership program, Anthony, my partner Anthony and I, we got so, now I can say my fiance and I, got
Yes.
so inspired, got the bug of emotional intelligence, got the bug of leadership, of the tools that you and I are highlighting. And I was like, wow, where has this been my whole life? Every human being on earth deserves to have access to all of these tools. So, long story short, Anthony and I developed a program with our mentor, the same leadership trainer, Michael Strasner, that we all know and love. He's now partnered with us and comes in and facilitates 2 day workshops. These are intensive workshops. So what you and I went through cost over $4,000 and took 3 months. And we've been able to condense not all of it, but the big juicy parts in 2 days for $600, right? Like right now.
Right.
I mean, don't quote me if you're watching this
Yeah,
like
yeah, yeah.
several
I
years
was gonna say,
later.
don't say the price because this is just like right now,
Right,
but like
yeah, right
it's
now.
gonna go up for
October
sure.
4th and 5th of 2024 right now, actually.
Yeah, yeah.
So we now get to give back and facilitate and co-create these intensives. So what people come in, just like all of the things that we're discussing, and they get an opportunity in a safe place to offload some baggage, past stuff. They get to connect to their magic wand and their vision. They get to learn valuable emotional intelligence tools. It's like all the stuff you wish your mother had known to teach you. It's in this 2 day.
Okay, so Stacy, what like that's fine. Cool. Another training,
Yeah,
whatever.
yeah, right.
Like sounds good.
People are addicted to that.
Okay. Yeah, but what are they gonna get? Like what do they get? Like ultimately, what are they gonna get from learning these new tools and going through the workshop?
Yeah, you really do get transformed if you show up, right? Like that's the catalyst. You must come in committed, going all in. You're gonna have to, get vulnerable or don't, but that'll impact your results. But if you do like we did and you go all in, you will be transformed. What that looks
Okay,
like?
so
Yeah, yeah, go
yeah,
ahead.
sorry. You'll go into what that looks like.
Hmm.
Obviously, you just said that, but what does getting vulnerable mean? Because we might have lost half our audience right now because they don't want to get vulnerable. Fuck that. Like
Yeah,
screw
me
that. I'm
neither,
not
girl. Like
crying on
this,
camera. Like,
yeah, me neither. I don't know if you can see these eyeballs, but I got vulnerable with you right before this. That's what it takes, right? Like so vulnerability, I feel like is getting out of your head, being willing to get in your heart and actually speak from your soul, your heart's desire, that place that's willing to be judged and look dumb and be told you'll never have it. If you could just get that out and convey that, that's so beautiful. That's the authenticity. So people that are struggling in that department, you'll get an opportunity to be vulnerable. But if that doesn't come naturally to you, which it didn't come from me, we have trainers in there and facilitators that know exactly how to coach you and support you. That can show you. I had to get shown how to get here and here, like I had no idea. And so we will show you how to be vulnerable. And then what happens after that is pure magic. That's where transformation comes in. And then you get very connected to your vision. So you start to know, like, what do I actually want? And it could be in any area of your life, but you'll have that. And you walk out, the person you walk in will not be the person that you walk out of, for sure.
yeah, okay, good. That's what I wanted. And also, so then what does transformation get you? Like,
Yeah.
give an example,
Oh
like
man.
a
I
really
want to
concrete
say,
example.
what does transformation not get you? Because in
Right.
my own personal experience, if you're committed, and by the way, super rough around the edges just a few years ago, so I feel qualified in this department to speak into it, it will get you anything and all things. For me, it got me money. Financial security is what it got me. It got me true love, unconditional love. It got me 10 out of 10 relationships with everyone in my life. It got me a connection with God, the God of my own understanding. It got me like friendships and this true, juicy, way of life that is filled with the giving to others, but also being able to receive. Like I don't know what else to say. That's what it gave me. That's why I'm so passionate about it. And I want everybody, if they want it, I want to give it to them.
It's amazing that you just touched on being able to receive because this channel for years was all about femininity, how to attract your partner. And part of that, or your dream partner, and part of that is for women, modern day women, to learn how to receive. Because you can yell from the mountaintops all you want, the things you want, but if you're not open to actually receiving them, how do you even see when it's right in front of you?
Exactly.
So the
I,
receiving part for women especially, and this is going to mostly be on my channel anyways,
yeah.
watched by women. So but for women it's so important to open up to receive, and that can be really scary.
Big time scary. I think about it in a silly way, like you order a pizza, but if you never go to the door, like you could just keep ordering. And I've done that to where I want this, I want that, but I never opened the door. I never was really connected to receiving it. And there's a finesse to receiving. There really is. And I mean,
Yeah,
that's part of transformation too, is where are the gaps in your life? Some people are great at receiving, but some people aren't. And we'll look at where are the gaps, the places that you don't see or aren't connected to subconsciously that are literally dictating your entire life and creating your results.
yeah, so good. Oh, so good. I was going deeper into my thought process was going deeper into the receiving bit because the other thing is that when something that you have been asking for is right in front of you and it's not exactly how you made it in your head, you won't see it. And there's actually studies about this, like psychological studies about how you could be right in front of something and not see it. You know those like little trick videos and stuff. I'm not explaining it well, but and you will probably, but
Well, you know,
just
back when in our youth, they used to have those posters and you had to like stare at it like this. And then when you stared
yes,
at it long enough, then it like turned into a
yes,
whale or whatever, whatever was in
exactly.
there. And it's like, yeah, like it feels like that, where if it didn't look exactly the way that you thought, you just missed it completely.
Totally. And that you made up in your head that it has to look like. For example, how you have in your head that your partner has to look like. And not just his looks, although people get stuck on looks too. I have
I
to go get
do.
Isaac.
Yep. Totally.
But what the relationship has to look like, right? And so that's why they stay single into their 30s, 40s, 50s, 60s, because they're stuck on this rigid
Hmm.
belief of what it should look like. Okay, I have to, we can pause or
Now you got the baby.
Yeah,
That's the
so I
that's the
mean,
cool thing about being moms, like we can be flexible.
yeah, totally. Totally. So yeah, so we chatted about maybe wrapping this one up, but we're going to be connecting more regularly, right?
Yeah,
And
yeah.
sharing about our journey and what we're up to and all of that. So what I would say is the best way to peek into my life is to follow me on Instagram,
Totally. Yep.
or Facebook. And how about you?
Best way is to just look on Instagram, Facebook, Google it, right? Like
Yeah,
Impact Leadership Community. And
yeah.
my name's Stacey Reed, like if you check any of those. But I'm looking forward to getting back on with you and continuing to share. And Barbara and I on the side have so many goodies for you guys and so much in the making. So this is just the start.
Yay! So fun to reconnect in this way.
Yes, absolutely. All right, till next time.
Love you, girl.